So last week we told you guys to submit us some questions, and today we're gonna answer them for you guys.
Alright, so the first 3 questions come from Instagram, but sadly our Instagram got disabled, so we can't give you the shout out, so we're just gonna say your name if we remember it. So the first question comes from Strawberry Pizza, and he asks, what is our dream MMA match?
And for me personally, my dream MMA match would probably have to be Mayhem Miller versus Nick Diaz. I just want to see how that whole beef probably would have culminated inside an octagon. What's yours?
And for me, it would be, mine's not as serious as his, not as good, but mine's Joe Rogan versus Dana White, because Dana White's a boxer, Joe Rogan's a mixed martial artist, and I want to see how the boss versus the employee goes down. It's never gonna happen, never would have happened, just fun.
Okay, so our second question comes from Christopher Kidd, and he asked how we got the name. At the beginning, when we started this whole channel, we wanted a name that would represent us. So when I really started this channel, I started with another friend of mine. His name was Daniel. Some of you guys may have seen him if you guys are really OG subscribers. Me and Daniel started this channel with a purpose that we wanted to really be out there, show the world, you know, that there's some talent here in the hood. We come up with Apex Dream Fighters on 3 simple reasons. Apex, which means the top of the food chain, man. So we wanted to be on top of things, like an apex predator. And Dream, because we had a dream, we had a vision. And Fighters, you guys get the point. The third, or Albert.
Mr. Albert asked, what motivates us?
What motivates me is the fact that I could reach out to a lot of people without really having to do anything really stupid. I like the fact that I could help people out in this sport, because I know that there are like a few people that probably watches and don't have the money to go to a gym or to practice. Yeah, I like the fact that we can offer a service without charging. And what motivates me even more is when people send us messages like, oh, thank you guys for helping me learn how to do so and so, or I really enjoyed how you guys taught so and so, and I like the content, I like you guys in general. I like all of that. That makes us feel good. And just the fact that I get to work with, you know, people that I know and I trust. I'm grateful to be on this platform, to be honest with you. I'd rather be doing stuff right here, creating ideas, than working at McDonald's and repeating the same monologue all the time.
And for me, it's the progress that we've made so far. Alex and I were on Instagram. We were posting videos that apparently they're illegal now. we're posting videos on Instagram, fight videos, and then they'll get like say 1,000 views, and then like now like, okay, I want to post another one. Then he'll post one, then it'll get 3,000 views, and we'll go back and forth posting a bunch of videos and a bunch of comments in our Instagram. Our notifications was going like wild, and so that I'm like, oh shit, it's kind of like a drug, like ecstasy, like dopamine, like you said. It's like I want to keep doing this. I want to see more. I want to see progress. And the same thing with YouTube. For example, once we were like I'm gonna give random 650, and then I said in the morning it was 650, then I got home from school, it was like what, 680. It's the progression that we're making, and I don't know, just numbers. I like numbers, especially when you go up. Oh, now we're gonna go to YouTube. We here have a lot more questions we're gonna answer. This comes from Christina Sanchez. I always wanted to know, why did Alex stop fighting? What was the whole eye problem all about? Also, where are you guys from? Like originally, where did your parents come from?
What I have is a progressive eye disease. That means it keeps on getting worse and worse throughout the years. So my problem is that I have a problem that's called keratoconus. And so what keratoconus pretty much does is the front part of my eye, or the cornea, is bulging out, and it doesn't let me see things perfectly. So a lot of things I see double imaging, ghosting, shadowing, and I need treatments and special contact lenses to help me see almost 20/20. So when I met with a doctor, they told me, you know what, don't be doing combat sports because you can mess up the front of your eye. I decided to stop just for the mere fact that, you know, I'd rather keep my vision than keep fighting. I stopped fighting, sparring, but in a way I still just wanted to be in the sport, so I'd rather just coach and try to help you guys.
The second part, where you guys were you from originally? Where are your parents from?
Well, my dad is from Michoacan, Mexico, and my mom is from Jalisco.
And same, my parents are from Mexico. My mom's from Nayarit, my dad's from Jalisco.
The second question comes from La Única, I think that's how you say it. I'm pronouncing it wrong, my bad. And she says, I remember watching a sneak peek of a documentary of where you guys grew up. Was it rough growing up where you guys grew up? By the way, when is that whole video going to come out?
For me, No, I wouldn't say I lived a rough life. My parents were, they weren't together, but we lived together, and they both worked, so it wasn't too bad. We weren't like starving, we weren't dirt poor, and then the neighborhood around me was kind of sketchy, but I stayed away from that. And it's not as bad as some neighborhoods like where you're kind of forced to, like the environment forces you to join a gang. I minded my own business. I kept away from it, and then I have 4 older brothers that kind of were monitoring me, and their friends were monitoring me too. So if I wanted to live a la mala vida, whatever.
Yeah, bad life.
Bad life, I wouldn't be able to. So no, I didn't. I lived, I guess you say, a privileged life to an extent.
Where I grew up, I don't really want to say it was that I had a rough life. It was just a rough environment. I saw some crazy things go down, like people getting killed, people getting jumped. But to say that I live a rough life, I don't really want to say that, because I know there's always people living, worse lives than oneself. So I just want to say that the environment was rough. Of course, there was moments where things really did get hard, but it wasn't anything to a point where, like you said, that we were dirt poor. None of that. And sometimes, yeah, we weren't the most privileged, but at least we had food and a roof over our head.
But that's more privileged than a lot of people. A lot of people, like say in Brazil, they don't have all that stuff. So I don't think we living in America have the right to say that we lived a bad life. So I think we're all privileged just by living here in America.
Yeah, you guys are all privileged to an extent.
Yeah.
And the second part is
when is the video?
When is the whole video gonna come out?
We haven't even finished recording the video. We recorded the hard part, like going to neighborhoods and stuff. But we still got to record a whole segment with our cameraman, then a bunch of details for us. So before June?
Yeah, before June. Hopefully before June.
So the next question comes from JD Gonzalez, and he has a trick question: why is the cameraman so cute? I don't know what he's talking about really.
I don't know. I guess you would have to ask Sosa's parents to see how it all went down. Next question. What do you guys think about the politics in boxing? Example, the robberies this Saturday, and like Kovalev Ward, even in the Olympics.
Politics in any sport really, especially in combat sports, like in the UFC and boxing. I think it's fucked up. I think it's fucked up that these people, the judges and outsiders, are kind of fucking up people's lives, because they risk their lives, and then this is all they have. In many cases, this is all they have. They fight to make a living, and then if you lose, certain doors close with the loss, and then you lost like fair and square, then I get it. But if you're getting robbed, I think it's bullshit. And the Chocolatito fight and the Thai guy, I didn't see the fights. I didn't know. So I did see Kovalev Ward, and I did think Kovalev won that fight, and I think it's bullshit. In the Olympics, I don't watch the Olympics.
It's kind of hard to judge these sports, especially when a person is judging it, because, for example, some judge may see one thing, and then the people on the outside see another thing. And then, besides the fact that it's judged by humans, which more than likely have more errors than a machine, like in my opinion, I don't think there's just really one way to judge it, because sometimes like you can land more punches, but that doesn't win you a fight. You get what I'm saying, right? And besides that, at the end of the day, besides the sport, it's a business as well.
And it's kind of weird because these judges never set foot. Most of the judges never set foot in a ring or a cage, so they don't know what it is to be a fighter. So I would kind of suggest that fighters start judging fights, which gives them a different perspective, because they know like certain positions, like in jiu-jitsu and MMA and in boxing, they know when a fighter's hurt, and they know more than, I would say, they have more personal experience, more experience in fighting than a judge does. How did you start doing this of boxing? Saludos de Argentina. How did you start doing this of boxing?
Saludos a Argentina. Lo vamos a hacer en español porque creo que le puede beneficiar un poco más. Yo empecé el boxeo hace como unos 7 años. Mi tío venía de los valles a trabajar en la ciudad, y en ese tiempo estaba jugando fútbol, pero no alcancé a hacer el equipo de la escuela. Entonces, no sé, nomás me deprimí un poco, y mi tío en ese entonces venía a trabajar en la ciudad, y pues me decía, ¿qué estás haciendo? Y le digo, nada, no estoy haciendo nada, la verdad ya no quiero jugar fútbol. Y me dice, te regalo un costal. Y le dije, ¿un costal de qué? Y dijo, oh, un costal para que le pegues, un costal de boxeo. Dije, no, la verdad no lo quise, pero me motivó un poco a aprender. Entonces de ahí agarré el boxeo y lo aprendí y él me enseñó unas pocas cosas y de ahí empezó todo y luego entonces de aquí, desde ese entonces me gustó y creé este canal nomás para poder ayudarle a ustedes.
I started boxing when I was 8 because my dad was a fighter and my brother was a boxer, and we trained at Lincoln Heights in an old prison, and I liked being there, but I hated going. So if my mom was able to get me there, I'll like it and I'll do the workouts, you know, hit the mitts and hit the bag and stuff. And then once I went to Mexico, when I came back I just stopped going. I kept playing soccer, and then when I was 15 my brother just told me, you want to do the karate? I thought that was weird, and like, yeah, we started doing karate, and then that led to like doing boxing again, and then kickboxing. So yeah, just I wasn't like forced to, I wasn't like in the streets or anything, I wasn't forced to do anything. It just kind of as a hobby, and then now we're here.
Next questions comes from the greatest ever. He has a couple questions, so we're gonna go through them one by one. We want to be fair, we want to answer them all. I've got a few questions, so I hope you guys don't mind, but here they are. What made you guys start this channel? What made me start this channel is just the fact that we wanted to be out there. We wanted to show that there's talent here. We wanted a platform where we could show that there's talent, there's overall talents in places that people don't really ever look into.
I joined shortly after they started it. Alex and I were friends before the channel. We would box like just for fun, and then once they made their first video, I think I messaged him or he messaged me, I don't know, whatever, and then he asked me if we could record some stuff, and then since he did jiu-jitsu and stuff and kickboxing, so at my knowledge, can I turn pro in boxing?
I think the best thing when you want to go pro in boxing is go up through the ranks. The most important thing, in my opinion, is to go through the ranks, through the amateurs. The most important thing is to have amateur experience. A lot of these great fighters, or a lot of the fighters that are very, very good, they have a lot of amateur experience and a lot of fights under their belt before they even reach that pro level. For example, like Gennady Golovkin and Vasily Lomachenko, that they have over 200 fights, if I'm not mistaken. I would recommend you guys to go through the ranks, fight amateur. Hopefully you'll get signed. Go through the process, enjoy the process. I know it's frustrating at times, but that would be my best advice.
Yeah, that's good advice, and I would say the same thing. But I also add that having networking, like for example, on Instagram, we had 21.3 thousand followers. So we kind of scout out those big pages, those big fight pages, and you ask them to give you a shout out. And most people, like, we wouldn't charge you. Most people won't charge you to give you a shout out because it's effortless. There's not much that we're gonna lose from it, and you're gonna gain a lot. So a lot of networking, talking to promoters, and then promoting yourself.
The third question is, do you guys think that height and reach matter in boxing?
I would say not. Isn't the defining factor. Like Mike Tyson was a shorter fighter, and he still fucked everybody up. But I think it does give you an advantage having longer reach, and if you know how to use it, also not just having it, but knowing how to use it and how to effectively use it. So I would say it does matter, but not completely.
I agree with you 100%. There has been fighters that have been longer and lankier, longer reach, but they have been beaten by shorter fighters or fighters with a shorter reach. It comes down to skill, how you adjust in the fight, and how you break that little barrier.
What made you start boxing? You can't answer that for me.
Yeah, so let me just answer it in English. I was playing soccer, I was playing football. The point is that I was playing soccer before I actually started boxing. So I was playing soccer, cut off from the high school team. I went into like a little fuck my life moment, a little depression. My uncle was coming down from the valleys to work in Amapola. My uncle, he told me if I wanted a heavy bag. At the beginning I didn't really want to do it, and at the end he kind of convinced me. He gave me the heavy bag, he taught me a little bit of stuff, I started liking it, and that's where the journey began. What do I do whenever I start getting negative thoughts like I'm not good enough or I'm not worth it? I think the most important thing is to be self-motivated. In this sport, it's not just the physical thing, it's the whole mental aspect that goes behind a fight. You have to be really mentally strong. Psychologically, if you're not there, you're gonna lose every fight. Like that old saying goes, a lot of the fights are won in practice and before the bout actually goes on. So I would say really work on that psychological aspect of it. Visualization, visualize yourself winning. Don't put yourself down. If you put yourself down, that's already an advantage to your opponent. You would most definitely lose. even if you have the skill, if you're not psychologically there, you're not gonna win, man.
The next question, same person, goes over how to deal with haters and people who insult you and try to bring you down. I know this sounds simple and kind of hard, but just ignore them. Like, I'm assuming most criticism and hatred comes from social media, like on Instagram, and so what you can do on the internet, you can just block people, and you shouldn't ever kind of respond to them, because that's what they want. They want to keep going, they want to keep bringing you down, but delete them from whatever, block them so you won't see them anymore. Just tune them out.
I think a lot of these haters don't really understand. It's always easier to criticize from the sideline. I don't really think you should give them the time of day. Don't give them that attention, because that's what they want. They want a reaction from you. So I say, just don't listen to them. Sometimes people will hate you for no reason at all, just for the mere fact that you're doing this. Some people will never understand your passion. You have to rise above all of that, because to be honest with you, there's a lot of salty ass people out there, a lot of negative ass people. Like, they don't even want to watch you do something spectacular, and they don't even know like the whole reason.
Alright, the next question. He says, thank you for doing Q&A and I can't wait to see it. You're okay with it. So the next question comes from Gabby Trujillo. What drills do you recommend to improve my footwork? When my coach would admit me, I could tell that some of my punches were sloppy or I wasn't using proper form, but he wouldn't correct me. From the training perspective, do you think this develops bad habits?
Well, it depends what kind of footwork are you looking for. You pivot out, create a different angle, get faster footwork. That has to be a little bit more exact, because I feel like maybe you probably know like the most basic footwork, but I don't know exactly what you want. That's kind of hard for me to correct you on or help you. But check out our videos. We have like a bunch of videos on footwork, and those videos really get a lot of views. So I don't know if you want to check those out, but I'd say practice your simple footwork, man. Lateral steps, learning how to do a basic step, so one leg in front of the other. I say just work on your basic footwork.
If your coach isn't telling you, that probably means he doesn't know or doesn't care. So that should be indicated that you should get the fuck out of there. And developing bad habits, it's easier to develop bad habits. It's harder to undo those bad habits.
Okay, if your coach is not really telling you how to correct your form, or you feel like you're doing it wrong, then yeah, I feel like it's time to look for a different coach. By the way it looks, maybe in the gym you're at, their main focal point is on their male athletes. I'm not trying to offend you in any shape, way, or form, but that's just the reality of things sometimes. If the coach is not helping you, maybe it's time to move on. Would you rather get a punch of Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
From Duvet Han Edin. I would rather get punched by Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson fucking killed me.
I agree with you.
Yeah, next one from Garrett70. You guys ever been in a sanctioned fight? I've been in jiu-jitsu fights, and those were sanctioned in Las Vegas, so I guess like striking, no.
I have never been in a sanctioned fight. I actually got into the sport pretty late, and then when I wanted to compete, that's when they diagnosed me with this problem. I wanted to, man, and I was even telling him a year before all of this happened that I wanted to compete.
Next question from What's Up 345. How do you guys know when it's time to end a working relationship with a coach or people in general? I don't like the way my coach teaches, and he hasn't really taught me anything. Hasn't really taught me anything new. It got boring, and I don't know if I should leave or if I should stay. So what are your thoughts when you are in a relationship or getting bored of it? Like, it happens to me a lot, not just with coaches, but with relationships with women and work. You telling us that you don't like it means you should get the fuck out of there right now. So you answered your own question, but like I said earlier, they don't care or they don't know.
If you're bored, if it's not working out for you, leave. If he's not teaching you anything new, leave, man. There's a bunch of coaches out there. There's a variety. Sometimes it's not just the coach's fault, but you're saying that your relationships don't really work with women and work, so maybe, I'm not trying to offend you either, but maybe the problem could be you.
I can't give you advice on this because I'm the exact same way. I get bored quickly, so maybe we're the problem. So.
Okay, the next question is, would you rather be able to land any punch or make 90% of your opponent's punches miss?
I would land every single punch, and then I can make a miss, maybe not 90%, but 89%.
I'm gonna go with land every punch, because let's say that last 10%, like it's a heavy hitter, and I still lose.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just land every punch.
Yeah. What do you guys think of female fighters? Do you guys think this is attractive? fuck yeah. We're from Cinderella KO. Fuck yeah. Especially a girl in a gi. I don't know, they don't find it attractive. But like Mackenzie Dern, Michelle Nicolini. Oh my god. And then even like other fighters, like kickboxers, like the Tiny Tornado. Oh my god, they're so beautiful. And what do we think about it? What do they think about it? It's fighting. It's just fighters. Lost over. Alright.
Next one.
From A to C. This is for Alex. How long have you been boxing, and are you self-taught?
I was boxing for 7 years. 7 years. I started boxing, like I said, when my uncle was coming from the valleys to work here in the city. He taught me the basics. The rest I've been pretty much self-taught.
And then the next question from the same person comes for me. How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu, and will it ever be on this channel? I started 2011, and will it ever be on the channel? Not anytime soon, because I think jiu-jitsu is kind of, there's like kind of like a hierarchy, and then like, and to be an instructor at your own gym, you have to be at least a purple belt, and I'm far from that. So I don't think it'll be fair for me teaching you jiu-jitsu. So I don't think anytime soon, really.
Okay, the next one comes from Ariel KO, and she says, or he says, I'm not sure, do you think it's okay to fight as a left-hander even if I'm right-handed?
I do that, and naturally I'm an orthodox fighter, but I'm starting to feel more comfortable as a southpaw. I guess your natural power is probably being your right hand, but I said you can still do it. Either you're strong, you'll have a strong as jab, and then so I think it's right if if you feel comfortable with it, and if you're willing to work with it.
If you're gonna do that, make sure that you actually throw your cross, because a lot of times these fighters become just a jab fighter, and what that means is, since they're fighting in a southpaw position, the right-handed, all they do is throw their jab, throw their jab, throw their jab, or a hook, and they never throw that left cross. But if you feel comfortable in that stance, do it. I actually fight as a converted southpaw. If you feel comfortable with it, if you're not getting hit, go for it. There's actually been a lot of converted southpaws and a lot of converted orthodox. For example, Miguel Cotto and Oscar De La Hoya, they were left-handed, and let's say, for example, someone like Victor Ortiz, he was right-handed, and he fights as a southpaw.
Yeah, just be aware, because before, many years ago, when I switched stances, I used to get caught a lot. Just be careful.
Ustedes juegan otros deportes además de boxeo and jiu-jitsu. What he's saying is, do you guys do other sports besides boxing and jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I do water polo and I swim.
Yeah, I actually play football, soccer.
The final question comes from Yasermo. Is the summer thing happening this year?
Oh my god, man. Damn, man. Last year we hyped it up so much that it was a complete failure. We honestly felt bad. It was just like, fuck. It was so frustrating to see so much work, so much input into that, and for it to fall like that. So I want to say it could happen. I don't want to promise anything, because last time we were all like, oh yeah, it's gonna happen. We hyped it up to a max, man, to a max, where everybody at the end was asking us like, hey, what the hell happened to the show? What the hell happened to the series? And I'm not sure, because it's not just on us to create the series. We also need people. We also need people from the area. So I'm not sure, man. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. Well, last year we had everything was done. Everything that we could do was done. Like every single thing. All the marketing, all the networking was done. The marketing was done. We had, the timeline. We had the cameraman, editor, everything. We just needed the people, and we had some people who promised us, but then they flaked. And if you're interested in it, you're from this area, then help us out, please.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll announce it, because we don't really have the networking right now. Our page went down, but if you guys are watching this, you guys are from the South LA area, want to be in a series, hit us up, and we'll see if we can make it work.
Yeah, one more question from Jesus Sosa.
Cameraman.
I have a question. Will there ever be a collaboration with other YouTubers? Also, if the summer project doesn't plan out this year, do you guys have anything other planned? Also, why are you guys so cool? Alright, that's kind of stupid question.
Those are pretty good questions.
Okay, so will you ever be in a collaboration with another YouTuber? Hopefully.
I don't know, man.
Hopefully.
Who want to collab with us?
Yeah, I don't know. We're a low-level YouTube. We're below. We're under 1,000, so no one's gonna want to collab with us unless like someone lower than us. We would have turned down if the option was there. If the summer project doesn't plan out, do you guys have anything other planned?
If it doesn't work out and we have somebody that would want to work with us, I feel I have the series just for it, just a series, a little short series to replace that whole tournament series thing that we plan to have in the summer. So if that whole big summer program doesn't come together, then yeah, I have a little bit of options, or I have enough creativity to create another series.
And the last one, why are you guys so cool?
I don't know, bro. Why are you so cool?
Those are the questions that you guys asked us. Thank you guys for the questions. You're welcome for the answers.
Yeah, thank you guys. Stay tuned for more. Comment, subscribe.